I'm going to pull Ken O'Brien of California Davis.
Obviously, the Jets know something that, the people up there don't.
Fullback, hello. Roger Vick, Jeff Lageman.
Jets just don't understand the draft all about.
Blair Thomas, running back, Penn State. Johnny Mitchell. The New York Jets select tight end from Penn State, Kyle Brady. Vernon Golson.
Cleveland traded the 5th pick to the New York Jets. And with the 5th pick, the 2009 NFL Draft, New York Jets select Mark Sanchez.
D. Milner. Dino Smith. Jets select quarterback Christian Hackenberg.
Sam Darnell.
The New York Jets select Zach Wilson.
Future Pro Bowler, Elijah Moore.
Michael Carter, running back.
All right, man. This is it. If I have a truly favorite thing to do with you, I think this is it. The Monday Night Mock, the 10 o'clock mock is back for the inaugural, if you will, 2023 episode. I feel like I'm a little choppy tonight. I hope that doesn't continue. I'm going to have to close a few things. And make sure that we're smooth. But what's happening, guys? Here we are. Usually, the last couple years that we've been doing this, everybody, by this time, we're knee deep in prospects, and we have our lists and everything. This year, thanks to the very promising season that we had, although it slipped away through our fingers, it was still a very promising season. We did not get into this mock thing until the last week of the season. For that, I am grateful. I truly am. But with that all said, we're here nonetheless. I am GreenBean. This is the Monday night 10 o'clock mock. I'm grateful that you're here, and we are going to get into this thing. I have a surprise for you guys. Some of you might already know, but I have a surprise. Every year, I kind of have a regular co-host, and we bring on some guests and stuff like that, but I have like my regular guy. This year, I'm very grateful. I feel very fortunate to have landed the very sought-after draft expert himself. Let's say hello to our co-host for the 10 o'clock mock, Mr. Dom C. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Bean. How are you, man? What's up, chat? Best time of the year, if you ask me. Since we're out of the playoffs, that is.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, man. I mean, what a bummer. But I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to co-host. I'm excited to sit on here every Monday night and do what I do and talk draft prospects with all you guys. I mean, what's better?
Right. And you know what's funny, Dom, is, you think, oh, do you have time on Monday night to do the thing? The truth is, when you're home alone, this is what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm doing it anyway. Exactly. I mean, I got a laptop and an all 22 going at every time of the day. Even my kids ask me. They say, "Dad, you watching football tape again?" Yeah, I am. Go to bed.
Right. Go to bed. You're supposed to be in bed already. What are you doing bothering me?
Right. Oh man, this is great though. This is great.
Yeah.
This is great. This is it's exciting. For coming off the season on such a downtrodden turn, nothing could be more exciting than to talk about, what's in the future or what we think or get all these ideas that are going to change 10 times over between now and April when the draft happens. So,
yeah. Well, and the truth is that, I'm glad that we didn't start it so early this year, because by the time the draft comes around, even though we love this stuff, we enjoy, it gets stale, man. You're like, oh my God, just give me the draft already. This year, I think we're going to have a better time. I really do. I think it's going to be more compressed. I mean, we still have a few months, so it's not like we're pressed for time or anything.
Sure.
But we're going to be able to have a good time. And as you guys know, if you've never been with us before, what we like to do with this particular stream is every week we put out a couple polls in on Twitter and on the YouTube community, and we find out what our theme is going to be for the week. So each week we govern our draft by what we've decided, and I let you guys decide. I don't ever pick it. I have the ideas. So a lot of those are even given to me by you guys. And then I put them out there, and I let you guys decide what the theme is for each specific draft. And then every week we act as if that scenario happened. Like, for example, let's say the Jets trade 25 first-round picks for Lamar Jackson, right? So let's say we do that. Then we don't have one, so we act as if we have our quarterback and we don't have a first-round pick. And so what does that do to our draft? How would we function if that was our reality? And it's fun, man. Now, I'll be honest, every single week, somebody still doesn't want to adhere to it, and they say, this is dumb. It happens every week. Yeah. That's okay. That's okay. But that's what's so fun. But for this initial offering, if you will, we're just going straight up. This is our introduction to each other once again. We'll say hello to some of you awesome people in the chat in just a moment, but this is the first one. So we're just going to look at our picks. We'll accept trades if we see some trade offers or what have you, but we're just going to go at this thing pure. There's no theme. It's just us at the draft in our war room, looking it over, trying to figure out what we could do if this was us, if we were the guys making the picks. So let's say hello to a few people, Dom, and then we'll move into this thing. Finger Lakes Jetsfan is here. He agrees with me. I don't remember what that is.
Well, anytime anyone agrees with you, it's a good sign. We love you,
That's
Finger
right.
Lakes.
That's right. I think he might agree with me that Darrell Bevel is the guy. That's the guy I want. I've made my decision. I'd be happy with a couple others, but I'm really hoping that this offensive coordinator search doesn't lead us to a first-time play caller, Dom. I would lose my marbles. I really would.
I just don't think that you make this move and then that's the counterplay. You know what I mean? If you make a move and you move off of Mike LaFleur, I think the object is to bring somebody in who has a bit of experience, Yep. And I'll say this. I know this is our Jets show, but I want to pay respect to what they're doing on the other side of MetLife, the Giants. A rookie head coach, they did such a good job by putting two veteran coordinators in there to kind of aid and assist. Again, hindsight being 2020, having a rookie head coach and two rookie coordinators, probably not the best recipe for success, but hopefully they get it right now and they bring somebody in with a veteran presence and has some experience and can be that leader that we were missing, especially in the offense.
Well, let me just say this. Dom very eloquently stated. I'm going to say one word to Dom C and his respect for our crosstown rival. Boo! That's what I have. I'm jealous. I hate it. Now, look. Lots of people in my family are Giants fans, and I love them, and they're happy, and I'm happy for them. But I got to be honest, man. We interviewed Bevel, and I thought he was the best of that bunch. Now, I'm not throwing stones at someone.
Dabble. You mean Dabble. You mean Dabble.
Dable. Right. What'd I say? Bevel?
You
again?
did.
Yeah. Sorry. Thank you for catching me. I meant Dable. So yeah, that was the guy out of our interviewees. I said, all right, well, clearly he's the best out of the bunch. And you can see it, man. You can see it. I even like the guy that they got for offensive coordinator, Kafka from the Rams. From the Chiefs. That was the guy I wanted for offensive coordinator. So like they have the staff I wanted, man. And it's and you can see it. Yeah, hey, good for them. I hope they lose. That's what I want. That's what I want. I'm a miserable bastard. Gitmo Bob's in the house. Jets Forever is here. Our buddy Harry and Dorian from New Zealand. They're all here. Tony Flett is here. He's okay with Bevel. New York Sports Wicker Media. That's our buddy Y2K who is hanging out in the back. He'll be helping us out tonight. And don't forget to support New York Sports Wicker Media, everybody. Ant Jets is in the house. Sneakers to Boots. Anthony Rizzi. They're all pouring in, man. This is the crew. Jay-Z Jetsfan is here. Wild Waves is here. Yeah, man. Look at you.
Hey, guy. What's up,
This
man?
is great. This is great. Oh, okay. He wants a box of Twinkies and a gallon of milk. Well, hey, man, you got time. Go ahead. Today, I want Pop-Tarts. I'm on a Pop-Tart kick. I don't know what the hell's going on. Donker Sloot is here. Joe Campione says draft another quarterback.
Oh,
Take
Joe.
more swing. Why not?
That makes my butthole pucker, Joe. I don't even like to think about it.
Oh, it is, yeah. So Josh Serrano is here. I know. Look, it took a little longer. From that, I'm grateful for that, man. I really am. Like, we gotta, we gotta make sure. It's very easy to get sucked into the negatives, right? And there's a bunch, so it's easy to do. But it's worthwhile to take a look at the positives, man. There is a lot of growth in our organization. There's a lot of progress. And even though we had that epic collapse, there's still a lot of things we can hang our hat on. And one of them is, hey, man, we were legit into this. We were in it until the second to last game of the season. And that is new, my friends.
That's right. That's right.
So, all right. Kay Yeti's here. We'll say hello to a few more of you. Then we're going to dive right into this bad boy. Nick Russo is here. Yeah. Look at you guys. All right. This is great. Who else we got? We got Dave from New Brunswick. He's like, dude, I love this Dom C guy. Look at him. It's amazing.
And I'm wearing my Jets I'm paying homage to Jets Forever. If you can see, I got my Zach shirt on for you, bud.
Oh, that's so
give me
nice.
a green heart if you can hear me. If you're real.
There you go. Jets Forever. What do you think of that? That's for you.
Just for you, bud.
Y2K letting us know that Mar has now missed 4 extra points in this game. As you probably know, the Dallas Cowboys are playing the New England Patriots. It might as well be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the playoffs. I got to say, I don't like this Monday night playoff thing. I think it's bad. I don't like it, and I think it's a mistake. But
Dallas has had they've been pretty vocal saying that it's not fair because if they got to go into San Francisco next week, San Francisco's had 2 extra days rested.
Totally.
So
think about it, man. They played Saturday, they get the bonus day. And I mean, dude, it's real. That stuff's real. Yeah. And I don't know why the NFL could justify that. So, all right, man. Well, look, M. Morris is here. Go Hangard, Brian Ness, all these guys, and Kyle LaBrinchia. Yeah, well, we love that you love it, man. Truly. I mean, this is, our whole goal is to try to make stuff that you guys are interested in, that is positive, right? That's what we're trying to do. Right. Amen indeed. So let's do this, guys. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start this year with our old faithful, the PFN mock draft simulator. And, from, in my opinion, it's the smoothest and the most fun. Now, I have issues with their player evals, honestly.
Yeah.
But again, we're going to, just like last year, we're going to go ahead and we'll use the PFF simulator from time to time. Sometimes we even ran them both and see what it looks like. We ran them both at the same time.
That was rough. I remember that. Episode.
Well,
we were up until 2:30 in the morning trying to watch and follow that one.
It's the truth. Now, last year, I'll remind you guys, at this time, I was in Sedona, Arizona for much of this. And I was all over the place, but a large chunk of this mock stuff we were doing, I was in Sedona. What a world, man. I'm all the way in Virginia now. I have a house. I got a studio. I don't know. And I had no idea, Dom. I thought I was going to California, to Yellowstone. Yeah. Life is weird. So anyway, it's a whole different thing. And I am psyched to get this started. So guys, here it is. This is the PFN mock draft simulator. And again, we'll try all sorts of fun stuff throughout the season, this off season. We have plenty of time. We got plenty of work to do. Tonight, what we're doing is we are going to go at this draft pure. There's no theme involved in this one. This is our first one. We just want to go in, see what the simulator offers us, and go from there. Now, what we're going to do, guys, I'm going to add some polls. Let me just get over to my YouTube page here.
Jacob Finnegan, hello, buddy. K Yeti, again, hello. Go Hangard, my dude. Yeah. How are you? While you get ready, I'll just keep talking to the chat as they're talking to us.
Yeah, it's the best.
And
They're the
Jim
best.
Kelly's got it right, guys. If you haven't done so yet, go like the stream. It does wonders for the YouTube algorithm.
It really does. So, all right, Dom, the first poll I'm going to do now, I'm going to try to do this for every single pick. All right, guys. Now, it's up to you to make the poll work, right? When you see the poll, try to answer it as soon as you can. This way, your voice is heard. It's a funny dynamic that takes place. I put out these polls every year. We all decide, it's like 89% wants a tackle, for example. Then we pick a tackle and everybody goes, that sucks. We should have picked a cornerback. Like that's it's a funny thing that happens. So we're going to start this poll, this draft with what position do we want is our first pick. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put that out there and I'll give you a couple choices. We got offensive tackle. We got maybe free safety, right? What do you think?
Yeah, I think listen, if you're talking about the biggest needs as they stand right now, it's probably tackle, it's probably safety, it's probably defensive lineman on the interior.
Okay, defensive tackle. What do you think about maybe center guard?
Well, I think it's a need, but realistically, I just don't. I don't think that there's a first round talent in this draft, so that might be a little bit of a reach.
All right. So what do you think the other position should be? Linebacker.
Again, maybe another reach, but you can make an argument linebacker, maybe wide receiver, because who knows what's going to happen with the likes of Corey Davis and Braxton Berrios if they're on the roster next year.
All right. So we'll throw a wide receiver up there. Have a little fun. Guys, the poll is up there right now. So don't forget to answer the question that you now see. If it doesn't pop up, go ahead and hit the refresh button, and that'll give you the opportunity to answer the poll. There are 4 choices, and pick it, and I'll let it run for a minute or two, and then we're going to go ahead and get in this simulator. So I want to show you guys now that I'm not messing up. All right. So look, I picked the Jets. That's good. I picked 7 rounds. I always, I hate when we're having the best draft of our lives, and I picked 3 rounds. You know what I mean? For some reason. So that's it. Look, I got 7 rounds selected, and I'm going to go ahead and pick fast. This way, we're not waiting between picks.
Yeah.
For the simulator to catch up. So let's go. I'm going to hit Let's Draft. I'll push pause right away. Yeah, my computer's slow tonight. Am I spotty at all? Do you know?
Right now, you're fine. You were a little spotty earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I got an eye on the poll, and it's undoubtedly right now, I'd say by probably the biggest margin you could imagine, offensive tackle. Who would have thunk?
Right. Oh, I can imagine bigger margins than that. But yes, you're right. So it's very wide girth between. So, all right, offensive tackle. So look, I'll let this run another 30 seconds. See if you guys are going to maybe if the rest of you guys vote all one way, we could change it, but it looks like it might be tackled.
Yeah, we got so far we got 84 votes as I refresh, 85 votes with 86% of the votes going to tackle here.
Wow.
Not even a double digit for any of the positions.
Right. So
that,
guys, let's remember. I'm sorry, go on, Dom, please.
After you.
All right. So let's remember, your voice can't be heard unless you vote in the poll. Now, I know a bunch of you guys are watching it on TV, and look, you can't vote that way, and I get it. But as many of you guys that can right now, there's 155 of you in here. It's steadily climbing. So we got $1.50 in here right now, and only 90 of you voted. So let's try to see if a few more can get their voices heard. But it doesn't look like it's going to be enough to change anything. So another
not
10
even
seconds.
close. Not even close. We're at 96 votes right now.
Yep. So there's just no way that it can do it mathematically. All right, then let's go ahead. We're going to end this poll, everybody. It looks like offensive tackle. Now, what we'll do, Dom, we're going to let this draft run until our pick at 13. Here we go, guys. Look at that. The Bears took a wide receiver up top. Interesting.
Well, you never doubt the PFN algorithm. That's for sure.
That's right. And look at Anthony Richardson up there at pick 6 with the Detroit Lions.
Oh.
So, okay, well, so here's the guys that are gone. We got Will Anderson, Miles Murphy, Anthony Richardson. I saw Stroud was gone. Jalen Carter, defensive tackle. Some people like Paris Johnson. So, okay, and a few wide receivers there. So we got 3 trade offers, everybody. I'll show you the trades, and then we're going to say this. Do we want to accept any of them, and which one? So this is what we'll do. So the first one, we have a trade opportunity with the Colts. They want to give us pick 35. They want us to jump out of the first. For the right to do that, they will give us pick 79 and next year's first. Very interesting. Very interesting.
I'm trying to see while these trades come up. I'm trying to pull up the trade value.
Nice.
And just by looking at that first one, I'm gonna respectfully decline. But
well, look, guys, there's an interesting shift that we should be at least entertaining. Up until this year, we've been building for the future, right? Stockpiling picks, trying to get as many talented players as we can. We're kind of in a position where we might want to value the immediate impact more than the future value right now. We're at a different place. You know, this defense, you want to make sure you capitalize on Sauce and Reed and then Garrett Wilson and all these guys that are here. So we might not want to value the future picks as much as maybe we have in the past. But that said, the Atlanta Falcons want us to slide back to 44. They'll give us pick 110, next year's first and second. This is pretty good stuff, man.
So hang on here. 110 gives us 75.
Now this is an interesting one. The Commanders want us to slide back 3 spots and give our third, and they'll give us a first next year. So that's interesting. That's interesting. So I'm going to make a poll here while Dom does the
well, all with the exception of I haven't done the Washington trade yet, but the other 2, when looking at the trade values, we would definitely be on the upside. Just so you know, our 13th overall pick is valued at 1,150 points. The Atlanta trade would bring us to 1,920 points. If my math is no, I'm sorry, 6 and 7, 13, 6, 1895. So you're getting a value of what in essence is a late round, first round pick value. So the value is there. The question is, do we want to come out of the first round completely for the future draft capital of the first and second round?
Right. I mean, the future draft capital is very nice, but again, you know, we're going to be moving out of the first round. So I'll show you the trades again. The poll is out. Here are the trades, and then we're going to take a look at who's there for us. Who do we want? So the Colts want us to go back to 35. They'll throw in 79 in next year's first to do so. The Falcons want us to slide back to 44. They'll give us pick 110, first and second next year. And it might be good because the Falcons have been struggling. Now the Commanders want us to throw in pick 74. So 13 and 74 for 16 and next year's first. So there are the trades. You guys have it. We have an option for no trade, and we have an option for each one of those. Now let's take a look here. Here's their big board, Dom. All right. So we have linebacker Noah Sewell up top. Will Levis is still there. A lot of people were clamoring for him. Maybe who was it? Joe Campione. Maybe he wants to go ahead and say, you know, hey man, he's there. Take him.
He's got the tools, man. He's got the tools. But do you really want to? Do you want to risk the biscuit on another rookie quarterback? I don't know. I don't know if Joe Douglas is ready to make that call yet.
Right. I don't know if we can. So you got some defensive tackles. You look, you got an edge rusher there. You know, Brian Branch. A lot of people are digging him right now. Offensive tackle Peter Skoronski is standing right there, and a lot of people like him. Now, look, we decided to take a tackle with this pick with our poll. So let's just refine this and look at the tackles. Now, Dom, we have 3 up top that I actually like. Now, I've spent a little bit of time digging into these 3 guys. We have Peter Skoronski, we have Broderick Jones, and Anton Harrison, who we were just talking about before the mock started, Dom, you and I.
Yes.
We were just talking about Anton Harrison. So once we find out if they don't want to take a trade, if the pick was yours, Dom,
Okay.
who are we taking with this 13th pick?
If the pick is my,
well,
if we're taking a tackle,
yeah.
Peter Skoronski right now, and I reserve the right to change this, but Peter Skoronski right now is my tackle number 1 on the board. Now he's not going to be a tackle on some people are going to take him right off the board just because of that old adage that he just doesn't have that length. He's going to be right at about those 33-inch arms, which is the baseline for what NFL teams think tackles have. Let's think back to who was it? Was it Darisaw? Not Christian Darisaw, but there was another Northwestern tackle, as a matter of fact, that went to San Diego. His name's skipping my mind a couple years back. Rashad Slater, that's him. He was the same kind of idea that some people didn't think he could really have the length to be tackle. Some thought he was would have to kick inside, similar to AVT as well. They thought AVT was a tackle, remember, and he,
right.
They didn't think he had the length, so they wanted to kick inside. So some boards are going to have Peter Skoronski as an interior lineman. I think Peter Skoronski, without a doubt, is the ultimate technician. There's no better skilled lineman in this draft all around. When I'm talking in the run game, in the pass game, I think he's got the chops to play tackle. He's my tackle number 1 on the board. Broderick Jones, he's my number 2 tackle on the board, and Anton Harrison, who we talked about before, he's my number 4. I think I have 4 guys that all have first round grades, and 3 of them are sitting right here. So if you're asking me, looking at these tackles, to me, I'm skipping up to the commissioner at the podium with Peter Skoronski written on my card.
Okay, interesting. So let me look at the poll. Now, guys, I want to remember, I see a few of you guys saying, hey, do this trade, do that trade. That's great. And we're allowed to say whatever, but just know this, we have some confining aspects to this, right? We're using the simulator as if that was the rest of the NFL. So we're only getting presented with what we're getting presented with. We're not going to get into creating trades, and because then it gets real muddy, and the truth is it gets real long. Everybody will be here for 9 hours. So we have to kind of go with what we decide. So even if you wanted a safety there, 86% of us decided that we want to tackle. So we're going to go tackle. Let's all buy in. Let's not keep talking about the safety. We're going to try to get this as unified as we can. And then you saw the trade. So I'm going to go ahead and end this poll. Let's see what we got here.
And before you do that, I will just say, based on the trade value chart, the Atlanta trade is the best value if we're going to look for the trade. That gives us the best value. Like I said, it returns a late round, first round value to us in matter of trade value points by the by the typical draft tech, Jimmy Johnson calculator.
Yeah. I love that then. So here's where we are though. 58% of you decided that you do not want to trade. So that is the winner. The next closest was the Washington trade. I think a lot of people they felt a little bit better about going back 3 spots as opposed to jumping out of the first round. But nonetheless, we are not going to trade. So that brings us to, remember, we've already decided we're taking a tackle. We now know that we're not going to trade. So the next poll is going to be which player. Okay, which OT are we taking? Okay, so we got.
And I think reasonably being that you can only put those 3 names on there. Right. Anything else is going to be a major reach. And
while you're, so what are they again? What are they?
You got Peter Skoronski from Northwestern. Yep. You got Broderick Jones from Georgia, and you have Anton Harrison from Oklahoma. While you're getting that ready, I'll give you a little brief synopsis of each of the guys. I've already talked about Skoronski. Like I said, I think he's the best technician in the class. He is super smart, and he has ability to bounce inside, even the center position where he was recruited as a center for Northwestern. So he's got that capabilities. The knock on him is his length, and size. He played under 300 pounds last year. He's going to have to put some weight on if he's going to stay at tackle. Broderick Jones, another, excellent prospect, 3-year starter, only allowed 2 sacks in all of college. He's got that ideal size, strength, athleticism, and length that you want, and he's a true left tackle. And Anton Harrison is probably the best comp I can think of him is Charles Cross from last year's draft. He's a pass set specialist, excellent against pass. Not to say he can't play in the run game. It's just not something that was asked of him to do much based on the Oklahoma offense. So, I said,
there's a whole wealth of stuff that still could be hiding in the bottom of the bag.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it. So, guys, the poll is up. We're using the top 3. Let me get over here. So we're using these top 3 guys right here: Peter Skoronski, Broderick Jones, and Anton Harrison. Make your pick. You heard Dom C. And his explanation for these guys. I have to agree. If it's my choice, I'm going up there and I'm grabbing Peter Skoronski without second thought. That's where I'm going. I'd be happy with the other guys, but at 13, he's there. In my opinion, you take him. So let's see what the poll says, Dom.
Okay.
We'll give it another few minutes here. Again, we can't do too long. We have 75 votes. We got 190 of you in here. Let's try to get a few more votes so we can properly represent. Dude, it's tied 47-47.
Oh, man. People like Broderick Jones, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not looking at the poll.
Forever's favorite guy.
Jets Forever doesn't like the tackles.
I know he doesn't.
He doesn't like the tackles. Shocker. Jets Forever has an opinion on something.
I know it's weird. He's usually so docile and on the sideline. Yeah, I mean, look, there's an argument like J.E. I hear you. He's saying, Branch is the best safety in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
You can get an offensive tackle in the second round. Sure, there's definitely an argument to be made for that. But again, we use the sim and we use the polls and majority rules, and we decided to go with the tackle. And I don't think it's a bad decision.
No,
right?
not really at all. And I'm going to say this about this tackle class. Compared to last year's, I think the top end of it was stronger last year. There's no Ikem Ekwonu in this class. There's no Evan Neal. There's no, there's similar guys to Charles Cross. I think the top end in last year's class was better. But I think it's a little bit deeper, and you can get some plug-and-play guys in round 2 and round 3, more so than last year's draft. So to that point, or whoever said, we can take Branch and take a safety or a tackle in the second, that makes sense, because I think you'll still be able to find that. But again, for argument's sake, for this hypothetical situation where tackle is the pick, and that's where we're going.
All righty. Okay, I'm going to give it 10 more seconds. 10 final seconds. We have, let me see how many votes we have. We got 101 votes. Skoronski's pulling ahead a little bit here, but I'll give it a few more seconds to see if you guys that are still thinking Broderick Jones, give you an opportunity to have your voice heard.
Yeah. Now, we're talking about tackle, Bean, but what a pleasure it's going to be next year if and only if we get back a healthy Mekhi Becton. What a problem that's going to have. You draft a high-end talent here in the first round. You bring back a healthy Mekhi Becton. You still have, hopefully, Max Mitchell comes back and can figure out the blood clot thing, which is not, which is a very, really serious condition that you got to be taken seriously. We can have ourselves a nice little bed of depth, something that we were missing this year, man.
I'll tell you what. Well, look, we even had a little bit of depth. We did. We had a little bit of depth, even a smidgen of a pipeline thing going on. And we ran through that shit by week 6.
Yeah, that's the truth. Yeah.
All right. So the first pick, Dom, we are there. The first pick, as spoken by the masses, is offensive tackle out of Northwestern, Peter Skoronski. That's our first pick, guys. So now we're moving into the second round. Let me just, before we look at this trade offer, I want to just take a look and see who's gone here. And I'll make it a little bit bigger for you guys. Okay. So since our pick, look, Broderick Jones is gone, right? So here they go. Where did we go? All right, we're up here at 13. So, okay, Will Levis only made it 2 more.
Another quarterback for Green Bay, for Christ's sakes.
I'm telling you, right? That's just such horseshit. That's so stupid. Brian Branch went to Seattle. Interesting. I heard some Chancellor comparison.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very
Absolutely. I like
interesting.
that.
So here's Noah Sewell went to the Giants. I'm telling you, that's going to be a good place for him.
Antonio Johnson. I just finished my tape study on him, the safety from Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Good ball player. Good ball player. Yeah.
Yeah, look, there's Broderick Jones, right? So
Darnell Wright, another really good, imposing tackle. He's a nasty MFer. He's got that dog and that bite in him. I like that player a lot.
Yeah. Now JL Skinner is one of Ablab's secret little love affairs this offseason. JL Skinner. Yep. He's off the board now. So Jordan Battle, that's unfortunate. And look, there's Anton Harrison, made it all the way to pick 41. So, okay, let's take a look at the trade. Here we go, guys. The Vikings are calling. They'd like us to package 43 and 71. We slide back to 87. They'll give us pick 116 and next year's second. So we gain, we gain 55 or something picks.
I'm doing the math for you as we speak. Give me a second.
Okay. So I'll do a quick poll here, guys. Trade, yes or no? And look, every poll, just know this. Every single trade, we're always going to counter. All right, always. We're going to try to add a 6th, try to add a 7th. We're going to try to squeeze it. So, all right, the poll's up. Let me know what you think.
So our in this draft, 43 and 171 comes out to 491 draft points, where the Minnesota side comes out to 717, which is a difference of 228 points, equivalent to a mid-round, third-round pick.
Is that in our favor?
That's the value in our favor. If we did this trade, the value is a mid-third round pick. Okay. To me, it's probably not enough juice to get it done.
Well, especially if you like somebody here, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, hey, look, Pooch Guy, thank you for the super chat. He says, Bean, Will McDonald, edge, Iowa State, second round. Well, you know what, Pooch? We'll add edge to our poll for the next position. So we're going to look and see if we want this trade just because it's there already. I'll end this one rather fast, and then we'll talk about which position that we want for this next second round pick. All right, look, 85% said no. So we're going to go ahead and clean this trade off our board. And so now, look, we are going to do another poll with the position. So we got to talk safety, right?
We got to talk safety. I think we got to talk interior offensive lineman, whether it be center or guard, preferably center, because Connor McGovern is a free agent. If we bring in a free agent quarterback, we're going to have to cut some, we're going to have to count our pennies and cut some corners somewhere. So he might, be a casualty of that. So I think center is really on the board. I think safety's on the board. I think linebackers on the board and interior defensive line again, which is a very, very, very razor thin draft class in this one. So the longer we wait, the defensive tackles, the longer we wait on this, the less opportunity we're going to have to get a good player.
And it's in my opinion, we need one. I'm going to go ahead. Thank you, Y2K. I'm going to go ahead and throw the big board up there for you guys, so you can see. Here we go. All right, here's what they're saying. Here's their estimated values here. What do we got? So we got Josh Downs, the wide receiver, starting it all off. And here you go. So, guys, hey, look, I put the poll up there. I will admit I took edge off and I replaced it with defensive tackle. Pooch, I'm sorry, but I happen to agree with what Dom said. I think defensive tackle, big, fat, run stuffing, space eater kind of a guy, I think is really important to this defense. We were missing it this year. And I think next to Quinnen, that could really be to our benefit. So, but we'll keep checking on the different positions. But
and edge is a very deep class. Edge is one of the deeper positional groups in this draft class. You know, with everyone that's already come out and not going back to school. Although, you know, you still have until Thursday to rescind your offer to forego your last year and enter the draft. They have until Thursday to rescind that and take that back.
Okay.
So,
well, let me say this. My now, granted, I've admitted to you guys, I'm in the earlier stages of doing what I do with my draft process, but I gotta tell you, this little guy right here from Baylor is one of my favorites in the early going. Yep, he's a 350-pound defensive tackle. All the energy, all the motivation, all the oomph that you want in a guy like that. I think he's going to be a long-time starter there. So
for a big guy, he can move too. You would think that he's just a space eater, you know, typical nose tackle, but that's not his game. He moves laterally very well. He pressures the quarterback. He's got a raw but unique skill set at rushing the passer, and it takes two guys at all time to body up on him. So he's got that going for him too.
Interesting. All right, guys. So I'm going to end the poll, but before I do, just so you are aware, this is what our draft looks like right now. We're standing at pick 43 right now. And we have pick 74, 109, 140, and 171. So we don't have that big boatload of picks that we're used to. So we got to be careful. We got to make sure that we're doing this intelligently this year. All right, look, it's center took the cake. Interesting. I did not see that coming. I have to be honest with you guys. I thought that it was going to be safety. That's what I thought. All right.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this much. I'll say this. Based on where we are and the talent that's on the board, and I love the safeties. I like the safeties, but I think center makes a lot of sense here. I also think that you could have made a fair and valid argument for defensive tackle as well, because the talent drops off a cliff in the later round. So
yeah, I wanted that. I wanted Ika. That's what I wanted. All right, so guys, now we decided on center. So I'm going to put the top four now. Dom, give me the. I mean, I don't know if their top four is the top four.
So listen, and just like the tackles that we talked about at the end, in the beginning, the people are going to have these ranked, in their own way. I think John Michael Schmitz has the best, is the best pound for pound talent in this draft at the center position. He's still there. He's a big guy. He can move. He's a fit. He's schematically, he can fit in an outside zone scheme if that's the style that offense we still run. But he's also, very versed and can be a gap power style guy. He can move laterally. I really like him as a prospect.
I like Ricky Stromberg, and I like Olawatami as well.
Olawatami is really slept on. I think he's going to be a really, really good player. I also like Luke Whippler. Luke Whippler's, again, not just because he's from Ohio State, but he's got a lot of the traits that I remember from Nick Mangold. Like he's not going to be the best in anything, but he's going to be very good. He's like that steady B+ guy that you put in there, and you don't hear his name often because he's not making mistakes and he's not missing assignments or anything like that. Just a steady Eddie, pick his lunchbox up and go to work. Stromberg is another guy. He went back for his 6th year. So he's a little bit older. So is Schmitz. Schmitz is going to be a 24-year-old prospect as well. But Stromberg just got better and better and better as the season went on, as the years went on.
Okay.
I'd be
Well,
happy
here's
with
our-
any of those guys.
Yeah, so here's our list. We got John Michael Schmidt, Stromberg, Whippler, and Olavatimi. I see Jets Forever saying that he thinks Whippler is the best center, but he's more than likely going to make it to the third. Again, we got to play with what we're seeing before us. You know what I mean? So in this draft, we have to, it's not, again, we have to look at it the way it's falling and govern ourselves by what's in front of our eyes. So that's what we're going to do. So that is your list. The poll is now up. Go ahead and vote for the center that you think would be the best pick for the second round. And look, I think it was Finger Lakes in the chat. He said, go ahead and do like Mangini did in 06, man. Go ahead, get that big tackle, get that center. Just make sure that offensive line is not something that we're dealing with anymore. Done. Yeah. Like you said, Becton's going to come back, AVT. We still got Lake and Tomlinson. In my opinion, you should definitely keep Herbig around. Maybe even, what's the guy? Cedric Abuye. Yeah, keep him around as a backup, dude. Totally.
Why not? He's a cost-effective guy. Listen, for what he was, we picked him off the scrap heap of the Texans practice squad. Abuye was okay. He wasn't anything to write home about, but he wasn't more detriment than he was help. He was definitely more help than detriment. Yeah.
In my opinion, Purdue, he came in 2 weeks after we scooped him up from the scrap heap. He ended up starting for us for 3 weeks. And he actually played well. I mean, he did a good job against the likes of Von Miller, man. I fully expected him to go to school that day, and he did a good job. Again, he's not the guy I want starting, but I definitely like the idea if we have a guy that needs to come in for a week or two. He has the experience. He can do it. Now, I still like Max Mitchell and all that jazz, but again, you keep these guys around. But taking a tackle and a center in the first 2 rounds, while it might not be the way I go, I think there's a lot of wisdom there, and I'd be totally fine if the Jets decide to just end this offensive line crap and just go for it. I'd be happy with it.
Yeah. Now, I see Jets Forever talking about Steve Avila, and I got to say, he's got a point. He's a prospect that I really, really do like. He's a 23-year-old kid out of TCU. He's got flexibility where he can play all 3 of the interior spots in the offensive line. Now he's a little bit more scheme specific. I think he's geared, or he'll be kind of a focal point for a team that has that power run base, the Tennessees and the Pittsburghs of the world. So he's going to be dependent. It's going to be dependent. His value will be dependent on the team that's picking him. So if the Jets are more of an outside zone blocking scheme, Avila might not be the best fit, but I will say that he's a really good prospect, and he does offer a little bit of versatility to play all over the line, which is something that's always a positive.
Yeah. All right, guys. So let me see how many votes we got in there. We only have 73 votes. Let's try to get a few more here. Okay, let's try to get a few more. Now, interesting, Gitmo Bob, what's up, buddy? I see you talking about Jarrett Patterson, who interestingly last year would have been the consensus #1 center taken off the board. He's been playing guard, and he's listed as a guard this year.
Yeah, and he had a down year.
He's in their top 5 or 6. He's going to be a good player, but what an interesting turn.
There's a couple guys I think that really didn't do themselves any favor by going back to school. Jarrett Patterson was one of them. Jarrett Patterson had a really good year. Now, I don't know, full disclosure, I don't know if he was dealing with an injury or something this year, but his play definitely slipped, and the hype around him really went down. Now, it could be that the Notre Dame had some great bookend tackles, and maybe they took some of the press off him, but he was one of the guys that when he went back, I was shocked, and it kind of really hurt him a little bit. Jordan Battle, the safety we talked about from Alabama, he's another one. He probably, he was a deadlock early second round, maybe even slip into the back of the first round, and he went back to college, and he had a good year, but it wasn't as good.
Interesting. Now, Jose Batista, he's letting us know he played at Northwestern. I feel like I remember this. For some, maybe you mentioned it before. What did you play? Did you play chess or would you play football? What'd you play? And what position? Jose, that's super cool, man. Not everybody can say that, dude. You know, we can all say, not me, but a lot of us can say we went to college, we went to university. And again, not me. I didn't do it.
You were a running back.
Well, no, I was only a running back for 1 year when I was.
You were a linebacker. You were a linebacker, right?
Yeah, I was a linebacker and defensive end. That was where I settled. You know what I mean? That was what I played offensive line, guard when need be. So, okay, remember, guys, I want to explain the rules. A lot of people came in here since we did it. We have to remember this is all governed by the board, what the simulator's presenting, and the polls. So again, I might not think that center was the best choice for this one, but 60-something% of you guys wanted to go for a center. So rather than say, oh, we shouldn't do it, we should do this, we go with the center, and we try to stay together and go forth with what we decide. And that's why it's so important to vote in these polls. Make sure your voice is heard. All right, we're going to end this. I got 91 votes out of 200 of you, 200 even right now. But John Michael Schmidt, I'll give it another 15 seconds. He's crushing it. I don't think anybody's going to take the mantle from Mr. Schmidt. But I'll give it a few more seconds here, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, man, look, again, might not be. I definitely want to get 2 offensive linemen in this draft. I would even be okay with 3, Dom. I really would. But that said, I would probably skip the second round and go third. I would, that's me.
Yeah, and again, I think the value on the board, as PFN has it, justifies what you're saying. You can look elsewhere, fill a spot, and still be able to land a good starter. And frankly, I don't know. John Michael Schmitz is going to be the first center taken off the board. And realistically, is it going to be in the middle of the second round? Probably not. It's probably going to be, Creed Humphrey went in the middle to late second round. And, he is, he was a better prospect coming out of college than Schmitz is. So, this might be a little bit early for reality's sake, but this isn't reality. This is
right. And but think about this. Okay, maybe it's a little early, but we're getting arguably the best center in the draft. So there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
And you know how this works, Bean. These guys in the draft, they have a draft board and they say, okay, here's our tier of players, and we're happy with whatever tier, whichever one of these 3 guys are going to be here. And if one of them are there, they'll take them. And if none of them are there, they'll look to move down or juggle around this and that. So, who knows? Maybe Joe Douglas and the Jets brass don't have the 4 centers that are on our poll in this tier. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
Schmitz might be the choice, the de facto choice, or they might just say, nah,
they might not like him. They might not like his grandmother for all we know. I ain't taking her grandkid. Yeah. So here we go. John Michael Schmitz is our second round pick now. Let me show you guys the big board so you can see what's going on. And I see a super chat from our buddy AbLab Studios. So here we go. Here's the big board for right now. We got a linebacker up top.
Yeah, well, you got to take that.
You're talking about that. I'm going to go ahead and bring up AbLab's super chat.
Go ahead. Well, before we get into the round 3 pick, in case we do go linebacker, we got to just cross Tommy Eichenberg right off because he did go back to college. So he's not draft eligible.
There you go. There you go. So. All right, AbLab Studios checking in. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says free safety, defensive tackle, linebacker, and punter the rest of the way. I will tell you, AbLab, you are not alone with the punter sentiment. The thing with punter, though, is, the hope and the reality is a lot of the time you can just put forth a major effort in the undrafted free agents and you can usually get yourself a good punter. We used a sixth round pick on Braden Mann. And look, he's definitely had his moments, but he's been hit or miss, man. Very, very sporadic, way too inconsistent. And when he's consistent and when he's inconsistent, he's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking with Jeremy the other day about this on one of his shows, and I said for the first time in a while, like whenever whenever we line up in punt formation, like there's something that goes off in my stomach, and it's a 50-50 shot that like something good's gonna happen or he's gonna shank it 15 yards, and that's just not normal. You know what I mean? That's
It's
just
not the way you want to live, dude.
1 out of every 4 punts is just horrendous. It's crazy. And Mann was a good punter. He won the Ray Guy award for best punter the year he came out.
Yeah.
So.
Well, look, and he has his moments, dude. I mean, sometimes he looks like the best punter in the world. Again, it's the inconsistency with him, man.
Yeah.
So, okay, guys, look, our 3rd round pick, Ablab, wants me to put free safety, defensive tackle, and linebacker up there. I got all those. I think those are the right.
I love those 3, and I think that's the 3 that you got to choose from here.
Is there a 4th position? Maybe wide receiver. Maybe guard.
We might as well keep it going. Yeah, wide receiver. I mean, like I said, it really just depends on how the wide receiver room looks different from last year. We're not basing this mock draft on anything, but in reality, is Corey Davis going to be a cap casualty? You save a lot of money by doing it. Is Berrios? Is his welcome worn out? Because he's an afterthought at this point.
Well, and look, dude, don't forget, Dom, the new offensive coordinator that comes in. Maybe it's Bevel, maybe it's Greg Olson, maybe it's some fucking hotshot quarterback coach that's never done this before. No matter how you slice it, they may come in and look at Braxton Berrios and saying, I don't want this guy in the slightest bit. I want Denzel Mims. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? Who knows?
So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I think the 3 positions that Ablab has on there, if you want to add a 4th, a wide receiver just makes sense. Because if you look at it, or you can say edge, because, again, we still have some questions there. As much as it pains me to say it, I think it's more likely that Carl Lawson's played his last day as a Jet. Do we re-sign Bryce Huff? We think we better, but in reality, he's still a free agent, a restricted one nonetheless, but he's still a free agent. So you can make an argument for edge, especially with that rotation that Saleh and Ulbrich like.
That's right, man. You know what? I have serious hopes right now. Like, again, you guys know I was in the middle of the road with the LaFleur thing, but I wasn't on the side of firing him. I saw that if you had a quarterback that could just give me 65%, that offense would work. But one of the things I'm really excited about with him being gone is this weird phantom doghouse that the players tend to slide into. Denzel Mims, from the minute he got here, it's just like he was forgotten. He was like he sucked. Elijah Moore, all of a sudden, he's garbage. And again, Berrios regressed. There's just so many. Michael Carter had that fumble against the Bills, and it's almost as if we never saw him again. They would give him 1-2 carries a game. Like, what is that? We know the guy's good. So I don't know what that is with LaFleur, and I'm really looking forward to that changing. Like, your good players are your good players, man. You got to know how to use a 6'3" wide receiver like Denzel Mims, who runs a sub 4.4. You got to be able to figure out that Elijah Moore can surgically carve up the middle of the field. You got to know these things. And if you're struggling to get that done, I think that's an issue. So that's one of the things I'm really excited about. Guys, the poll is up. There's about 190 of you in here right now, and we only got 50 votes. So safety is running away with it right now, but a lot of you guys still have to vote. Don't forget, like I see Anthony, our buddy Anthony's in there saying that was a terrible pick. Well, Anthony, you see, it's not me making the pick. All right. He's like, GreenBean, that sucked. I'm like, well,
who, Schmitz?
It's up to you guys. It's up to you. We'll do 1 or 2 of these where I just show you my drafting prowess and how good I really am at this. I'll tell you, man, when I look over like the past 15 years of who I would have drafted, it would have been, 12 Hall of Famers. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And I'll tell you what, the coaches I would have had, it's unbelievable what I would have done. I would have had us numerous Super Bowls. You guys would be very happy with GreenBean at the helm. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
So we are, it's a poll up. Are we still running?
Yep,
Where
the
are we at with the
I'm
poll?
going to give it a few more minutes because only, look, we got 63 votes now. I want to give them a minute. I mean, 55% for safety. Linebackers next with 24%. Then we got defensive tackle. I'm surprised that you guys aren't going defensive tackle, but I do like the safety idea. So I'm with it.
Yeah.
Anyway, give it a few more seconds and see what's going on. Wide receiver at a paltry 4%.
Oof.
Let me
Well,
see
you know, if safety is the one that pulls it out, you know, there's a possibility. I mean, I think LaMarcus Joyner's, you know, we're replacing him. I think that's goes without saying, but you know, there's a good segment of the Jets fan population that thinks we should replace Jordan Whitehead as well. And what do you think, Bean? We can get out of him relatively cheap. You know, he doesn't have that much. It would be a dead cap hit if he's designated as a post June 1st cut of about $1.5 million for the next 2 years. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Well, I'm totally disappointed with Jordan Whitehead. I mean, again, he's had his moments and he's definitely shown that he's talented, but way too many mental lapses, the tackling, like bad angles, all over, you know, just strewn throughout the season. He was disappointing. That said, if I had to look at the priority, I would choose ball hawking free safety over strong safety right now. I think, you know, adding that type of an impact to the, you know, behind Sauce, Reed, and Michael Carter II, I think would have, you know, just pay incredible dividends. Now, if the strong safety is just clearly a better pick, I think that the Jordan Whitehead situation might, you know, it might justify going that way. I would probably lean toward free safety if I'm going safety here. All right, so I'm going to end it. We got 88 votes. We're going to end the poll. Safety runs home with it. So let's take a look at what safeties we have here. Okay. All right. I saw somebody talking about Brown in the chat.
Yeah.
So somebody's a fan.
Jair Brown's a really good prospect, and he plays like his ass is on fire. He does a lot at the, you know, he's versatile. He can play, you know, both that typical free safety and strong safety, or box safety, as you will. He did this year. I mean, I think he had 5 or 6 interceptions, 5 or 6 sacks, you know, double-digit quarterback pressures. He's athletic. He can come out of his breaks really good. The downside to Jair Brown is he's not the biggest guy. You know, he's built short and stocky. I think he's 5'10", 200 pounds, and he's short. He's not long, you know, so he does, you know, he can do okay in space. But, you know, if a lineman or somebody gets on him in a block, he doesn't shed well. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So,
yeah, 5'11", 208 pounds. Well, you know, hey, who knows?
And
right,
not
so who else out of this list, though, Dom? Who else? Who else we got here?
For this pick here in this round,
Yeah.
I mean, Chris Smith is. I think Chris Smith is a phenomenal project. I mean, a phenomenal prospect, not a project. His phenomenal prospect. He's more of the true free safety that you're looking at, more so than Jair Brown. Hickman is another one. Hickman from Ohio State. You know, he had a little bit of a down year. Battled a couple injuries, so on and so forth. But you know, if you're talking that center field type that can play one high in the you know, center field style with range and ball skills, you're talking Chris Smith, you're talking Hickman. Robinson from Florida State is another good prospect, but he's more in the body mold and skill set of Jair Brown, where they can play free safety, you know, but they probably have that more aggressive downhill hitting box safety kind of style. So those are the guys that I like.
All right. Now, so we have, who was the fourth one you said? So I got Jair Brown, Christopher Smith. I got Hickman up there.
And Jamie Robinson.
Jamie Robinson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Torrance, and there's, you know, Torrance and Trey Dean. I'm a Florida fan. I watched them play. I watched every single Florida Florida game this year, and neither of them really impressed me all that much. They're good players. I just think that the other guys that we talked about have more comparable skill sets to what we're looking for as for the Jets. And again, Jair Brown, I just think is an A+ athlete. He's a really, really good football player.
Yeah. All right. Finger Lakes wants to know. He wants confirmation that Blair Thomas was in fact picked over Emmitt Smith. That is the truth. And Thurman Thomas. There was quite a few real studs there. But look, in Steinberg's defense, God rest his soul, everybody wanted Blair Thomas that year. I mean, that was just, it's one of those things, Jose Batista says, hey, he appreciates that. I come on here to talk football. Yeah, man. Well, so not chess, you're saying, Jose. But that's super cool, man. I got to admit, I'm envious. I mean, I have secret little hopes that my son can get into the college ranks, but I don't know. I don't know. So let's see what else we got here. So, guys, the poll is up. Anthony says Whitehead's coming back. That's the thing, Anthony.
I think so. I think so as well, Anthony.
Yeah, I believe that. Let's see. What's this? You guys talking about the draft? What the fuck? You guys were supposed to be past that. What are you talking about? What does that mean?
I don't know. Grant, I saw that also. Grant, I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about. What we're talking about that didn't kind of wet your whistle.
Yeah, he says this is garbage. What are you? This is garbage. I want no part of this. Well, Grant, I'm going to help you. Here's your solution. Turn it off. That's all. We don't want to hurt your feelings. We don't want to get you upset, buddy.
Was it the offensive coordinator stuff? I just think that's part of what, it kind of comes with the package.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's okay.
Tell us what's going on, buddy. I mean, we don't want anybody to be upset.
Bean, you're not everyone's cup of tea.
I know. Not everybody likes the beard. You know what I mean? I think that's really what it is.
Yeah.
It's like, look at this guy's beard. I hate it.
Yeah.
I've had, dude, if I told you how many comments, admittedly, it's been a minute, but how many comments I get about why would I listen to this old bastard? Or look at him. What's with the Santa Claus look, you idiot? Like those kinds. I get those all the time. It's been a month or two, but man, for the first 2 years, it's been at least one a week.
Really?
Oh yeah, man. People are hurtful.
Dang.
People are very hurtful. They want to hurt my feelings, which I don't understand. I don't know why. I don't know what I do to hurt your feelings. Maybe because I disagree with them on Zach and stuff like that. People take it very personally. It's not personal. All right.
A wise man once told me, what other people think about you is none of your business anyway. So whatever they say, don't take it personal, Bean.
I heard of that. Yeah. Don't take anything personally, right? Isn't that
yeah.
Jose says it's not the beard. And what is it, man? Help me out. Jose, that comment gives me the impression he's got an idea what it is. It's not the beard, trust me. Well, what is it? It's your face.
Oh, man.
It's your voice. Look, Tigo's in the house. What's up, buddy? Good to see you.
Hey, Tigo. What's up, bud?
Yeah.
Tigo's another guy, another content creator who has his finger on the pulse of these prospects, man. So when he talks,
Tigo's underrated, Dom. He's underrated.
Absolutely. When he talks, he's talking from a place of knowledge. So my ears always perk up. Not so much with you, GreenBean.
No. Totally. Tigo's worth listening to. All right, let's end this poll. I'm going to go ahead and end it. It looks like Jair Brown is run. Now, guys, a lot of you didn't vote, so I just want you to know when it happens and it's not the guy, you got to know I didn't even vote, so I can't say anything. All right? That's the way it goes. Yeah. All right, listen, Jair Brown. Now, are you happy with this for a third-round pick, Dom?
Yeah, listen, I'm not upset. Like I said, truth be told, I don't know if he's your perfect fit for that typical, what you're considering, what your mindset is around that ball hawking free safety. I don't know if that's him. I think he's probably going to be, at the next level, more of a box safety, or at best a split high, where a too deep kind of thing. I don't know if he's got the range to play, or the range and the ball skills to really sit home in center field. However, he did make Bruce Feldman's freak list. The guy is an athletic. He's athletic as could be. He's going to run in the low 4.4s. He's got the tangibles to be an NFL player. I think he comes in and he makes a mark and gets playing time right away. Out of these guys, I like Chris Smith better, but I'm not going to argue and say that I think Jair Brown was a bad pick. So I just think, like I said, if we're talking that true free safety type, I don't know if that's Jair Brown.
Got it. Okay. So, hey, I see some of you guys, and thank you, Wat2K, making sure that I don't miss requests like this. So I sincerely appreciate that. Asking for a recap. So here we go. In the first round, we grabbed a big offensive tackle, Peter Skoronski, out of Northwestern. Then we followed that with the 2006 method of grabbing a center right after our tackle. We got John Michael Schmitz, arguably the top center in the draft, at least in many conversations up to this point. And we just picked safety Jair Brown with pick 74. Now we got pick 109. That's where we stand right now. Let me go ahead and get this super chat here. E Boogie's in the house. Look at that. Yeah.
Hey, what's happening?
Yeah, and thank you, Jose. I see you. I see your answers, man. So thank you. He's just, you're good. Look, you make me feel better. I'm a very sensitive guy. You guys don't know that about me. I'm very sensitive. Yeah. I have a gruff exterior. I'm really at a center, Dom. I really do, buddy. So, all right. E Boogie checking in. Thank you for the super chat. He says, which player can the Jets trade to get some picks? And how many for that player? For example, JFM. Quickly, Dom, you think there's anybody on our team that, number one, has value to trade, but number two, somebody that we'd be willing to trade?
Value, I think that the league is going to have some value, whether we're willing to get rid of him. The name that comes to my mind is not JFM. The name's Elijah Moore. If somehow, some way, our new offensive coordinator has a different mindset, and maybe he wants the bigger, more physical type receivers, the Denzel of the mold of Denzel Mims, and so on and so forth. Maybe Elijah Moore is that guy who can probably net us some value, the best value. I personally wouldn't trade him. I'm not suggesting that we do, but that's the name that comes to mind. I mean, JFM's getting paid a lot of money. It's probably not it. I'm taking age and talent and salary all into consideration. Elijah's the one I come up with.
It's funny. I think that's an interesting one too. Now it's hard because we don't have an offensive coordinator yet, right?
Yeah.
So we don't know. Again, we look, for example, Darrell Bevel might come in here and say, wait a second. You have Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, Denzel Mims, Braxton Berrios, Breece Hall, Michael Carter, like, holy shit. Like, he might be in love. Dude, there's lots of reason to believe that's the case. Up until this year, Elijah Moore, what we were expecting a flat out breakout season from him this year.
Absolutely.
Weird turn, but let's not forget he's incredibly talented. So again, we don't know if any of these guys are going to be, if our new staff is going to be willing to trade these guys. But I do think Elijah Moore would still have value out there. Now, let's not forget he asked for a trade, so maybe, just maybe, they're going to grant it. And what do you think we'd get? You think we get a third or anything better?
I think I think a third is it's not even negotiable for anything less. Right. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a team out there that thinks they're a piece or two away, and could use that type of shifty wide receiver. What if Kansas City comes in and says, hey, you know what? We just traded for Kadarius Toney last year. We like that style. We think Elijah Moore could fit. We'll give you our second rounder, which is 62. You got to have a conversation, right?
Yeah,
you got to have a conversation.
And I'll tell you what, man, I honestly believe that Elijah Moore with Andy Reid and Mahomes.
I just threw that out because I'm trying to think who, of other teams that have a pass-centric offense based on those shifty kind of slot / can play outside receivers like Elijah Moore's skill set brings.
Yeah, right.
The Giants. What if the Giants said, hey, we're going to give you a third-round pick and a conditional fourth-rounder in 24. We need a number one, and we think Elijah Moore can be our number one. It's a conversation you got to have. You
got to do it. You got to like Joe Douglas said, and I think perfectly, I answered the phone, right?
Yeah.
That's what I do. I answered the phone. Remember, Jamal Adams got all butthurt over it. What do you mean you answer the phone? He's like, yeah, I answered the phone. Doesn't mean I'm going to trade you, but I'm definitely answering the phone. All right, so guys, the poll is up. Okay, the positions for pick 109 are defensive tackle, linebacker, edge rusher, and wide receiver. Now, again, for our recap, we grabbed a tackle, a center, and a safety. Doesn't mean we can't grab future at the same position. We could do that. But defensive tackle, linebacker, they've been up the whole time. I'm really surprised that they've been so low on the percentages, man.
Yeah,
Especially defensive tackle. But the good thing with defensive tackle, Don, is you really can get solid defensive tackles, especially when you're just looking for the run stuffing space eater types.
Sure.
You can definitely get them from the fourth round back without too much issue. You can.
You can. And I'm not saying that that's not the case. I will say that this class in particular, it's slim pickings. It's slim pickings, more so than in years past. That's my concern.
Yeah,
there's a couple good guys. There's a couple good first round talents, top heavy stuff. Maybe a guy sprinkled in here in the second, third round here or there, but after that, it's you're throwing darts.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. It's nice to know that we have a general manager. Say what you want about lots of things. The thing that he's proven over the past two drafts is that he at least has that ability to identify and grab talent in the later rounds.
Yeah.
So if anybody's going to do it, while the Mike McCagnons of the world are stumbling and bumbling through the fifth, Joe Douglas is the kind of guy who goes, no, there's our guy. That's the one guy in this whole round that's going to do something. Yeah. And it's nice to know that we at least have a guy that's likely to do that.
I'm going to say it, and it's going to be pissing in my own Cheerios because I said it 1,000 times. But God, now I wish we had protected Jonathan Marshall and had him back.
I know
he's he's that pipeline guy that I wish we had. Yeah, we're losing Solomon Thomas probably, and who knows what happens with Nathan Shepard or Sheldon Rankins. I'd feel a little bit more comfortable with having Jonathan Marshall there.
Well, and we may, they might not protect him. They might put him on waivers, and we'll probably grab him because you're right. That's a guy like we put 2 years into him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Next year he was going to get an opportunity to compete.
Yeah. And he wasn't active at all for Pittsburgh.
No.
He was on the 53, but he was never active on game days. So, maybe it was an extra body for them. Not like the guys that the Giants took from us. They actually played, Pinnock and oh my God, what's his face? The tight end. Why am I losing his mind? He was
Cager. Yeah.
Cager, yeah. I mean, they played some they played some meaningful reps.
Snaps. Yeah.
Cager dropped a touchdown yesterday.
Did he? He dropped one?
Yeah, he would have walked right into it.
Happy. Yeah. That makes me happy. It does, man. I'm a petty man when it comes to this stuff. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the poll again. There's about 130 of you that did not vote, so we can't complain. But it looks like linebacker is running away with it. Defensive tackle has the next highest with 27%. But all right, I just see a bunch of votes coming in. I'll give it 10 seconds. If you want to real quick get your vote in on the poll, I'll give it 10 seconds to see if maybe you guys want to switch and jump to defensive tackle maybe.
Hint, hint. In Green's mind, hint, hint. Switch to defensive tackle. No, I'm kidding.
Well, hey, you know, I try to do what I can to influence. You know what I mean? It's very limited.
Yeah.
Very
So
limited.
linebackers. I mean, listen. In reality, we might be replacing two. Right? You don't know if Quan's coming back. You don't know if Quincy Williams is coming back. So I could see how linebacker could be. And you know, I'm going to assume Mosley's coming back. He's not coming back at 21 million, but I'm assuming he'll be back on the team one way or another.
Well, let me tell you, there is an outside chance that we have a completely different linebacker group next year. It's there. The potential is there.
Sure.
We cut CJ Mosley and we choose not to re-sign Alexander and Quincy Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And then look, we got Sherwood and Nasruddin, and they come up, and who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we decided to take linebacker. Linebacker went ahead and cleaned the poll up. So look at this. Sarakia Dennis, he was somebody we were talking about last year.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say this. The value probably isn't here for linebacker. We're gonna take it. That's what the poll wants, but the value probably isn't here. The kid from Pittsburgh, he's a good player, but you know, he's probably more of an inside 3-4 inside linebacker, not really a fit for our defense.
All right. Well, who do you like? So look, their top four is Dennis, Graham, Williams, and Henley.
Yeah.
Anybody?
I can't say that I again, full disclosure, I can't say that I've done any work on Henley from Washington State. God, yeah, you know what? Listen, for this position, linebacker's probably not the place that I would even go at this point. Well, you look elsewhere. The kid from Tulane is, he's got some chops in him, but he's probably more so a 5th or a 6th round draft pick, in my opinion. He can play. He can play in space. He's got he can play off ball 4-3 backer.
All right. Well, let's throw. All right. So we'll just use their estimations. Then we'll go now. Don't forget, we're at pick 109. So these, they have them rated 113, 123. So we're not reaching that much, at least as far as where we are now, guys. This is the beginning of draft season. And things change. We dig and we learn a lot more as we go on. And it's not the end of the world. So we're going to see exactly what we can put together. If this is the way that it fell, let's take a look. So I'll throw Henley up there from Washington State.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't know much about Henley. So I will see what the interweb says about him. See if we can get some.
Yeah, there you go. You know what I like to do? So here's my process. I go through a bunch of lists, right? I go to Tankathon, I go to Draft Tech and some others, and I look and I see where they have similarities, right? Like the top is easy, the top 3, that's one thing. But as you start to move down a little bit, I like to see who's talking about the similar guys. And then I go into those guys, I watch highlights, right? That's what I do right off the gate. Then if I like the highlights, because sometimes I see shit on the highlights, I'm like, I hate this guy. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't want anything to do with him. Once I dig the highlights, then I start watching full games. That's what I do. Then from there, what I'll do is watch other people's breakdowns, guys that I like, right?
So our methods are the same, just not in the same order. I might look at a list to get some names because although I fancy myself pretty in tune with the college football game, you don't know who the 15th ranked, interior offensive lineman is on Tulane all the time. You know what I mean? So yeah, totally. You get some ideas. And then what I do is I go to my resource and see where I can get game film. And I try to say, all right, I'm just going to look at this guy and I'm just going to make my own opinion. And then I'll go to the guys that I trust and some of these professionals who do this for a true living and get what they have to say on them. So
totally. And you know what I like? As the draft season progresses, I have to admit the NFL site does a good job with their ratings. I mean, they're pretty good, man. Like it's not really there in the beginning, like right now, but as it gets closer, they do a really good job of their estimations on where the guy's going to go, like what he's going to end up being, what his career looks like. So I like that too as we get closer. But again, I think mostly it's myself. I mean, there are guys that people rave about, and I watch full games, and I'm like, I don't like this guy. Yeah. I just don't like him, man. So anyway, that's my process. And again, we're at the beginning of it all here. Ablab says maybe we should throw in the highest valued pick as the fourth name, no matter position, as a wild card. It's not a bad idea. We could do that. We can do that. That's not a bad idea. So the poll is up there, though, for right now. We got our linebackers. You know what, Ablab, you know where that'll work a lot better is when we start folding in the PFF simulator. Their ratings tend to be a little bit closer to what a lot of us think is, a little bit more realistic. PFN does they adjust and they do their things, but I find that a lot of their ratings are a little bit wackadoodle sometimes. Yeah. Again, it's a shame because their sim, in my opinion, is the smoothest. It's the best.
Sure.
That's for me, my opinion. Let's see. Can we look at DT? The enthusiasm is that's funny. All right. Let's see where we are with linebacker. I know, dude, 39 people. Nobody cares. You guys voted in linebacker, and now nobody wants linebacker. Dom's comment killed everybody. That's what happened.
I didn't mean to do that. Well, I'm just being honest.
Learn from
that's what I can bring is a little bit of honesty.
All right. So Servakia Dennis looks like he's gonna take this one. I mean, it's close, man. Graham is next with 28. He's only got 3% on him.
Yeah.
So I'll give it another 15, 20 seconds. Guys, get your votes in. Servakia Dennis and Graham. Jalen Graham from Purdue, they're neck and neck, and Dorian Williams he's not that far behind either.
Yeah.
So we got a race. You guys start voting. We got ourselves a race here, guys.
Rusty, my dude, he's saying he knows the linebackers. Talk to us here, Rusty. I personally, like I said, I don't think that any of these have great value for the pick, but if you have one that you like over the other, we're all for it, man. Let us know.
Tigo says, Jalen Graham is a bigger Quincy. Now, let me ask you, does that mean that he's going to miss the same amount of tackles as Quincy? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, I like Quincy Williams. I do. And I think that he's a good player. And when he's on, holy shit, he's a heat-seeking missile.
Yeah.
And there's it's like the next week, all of a sudden, he's burning, he's getting burned. He's missing tackles. It's like, what happens week to week? He's a very inconsistent player.
Yeah. For every one of those, like, jarring, take the running back off his feet kind of hits he makes, he has 3 other plays that he screws up. That's my whole thing with Quincy.
Right. It's interesting how that goes. So Matt Marger says, I didn't vote linebacker, and I don't like any of the choices. Well, you can still vote. It's like, this is the thing. I get it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, linebacker's not what I would have picked there either. It's just not, right? I would not have gone that way. But when we're there, do your best at, seeing the guy that you would want if this was the scenario, right? That's the way we play, Matt. Mark.
Yeah. Rusty, Tommy Eichenberg went back to college. So if he's your number 1, he's going to have to wait until 24.
Oh, look at this. We have a tie now. I can't end the poll till there is a winner. Graham and Dennis are neck and neck at 30%. Watts UK, you have to vote, buddy. I think that's the missing vote. Hey, Dom, are you voting?
I am not, but I can.
Yeah. You don't have to. You can. Hey, why not? You get a vote. Now they're both at 29% because Dorian Williams just gained a point. All right, Servakia Dennis, he's got 3 points on him. We're going to go ahead and he's 7 points on him now. All right, Dennis took the lead. So that's our 4th round pick. Servakia Dennis from Pittsburgh. I like him. Let me see something here. 6'1", 230 pounds. I like it.
Not a bad player.
That's our guy.
He's not a bad player.
All right. So now I'll show you guys. We'll do a brief recap, and I'll show you guys. Man, my computer, I'm really laggy tonight.
Yeah, you are. You're starting
Oh,
to lag
no
a little
way.
bit more.
No way. What did it just do? It just did it.
Oh no,
Dude, it just fucking refreshed. Did you see that? Oh, guys, that's it. We did it. We blew the first one. I can't stand it.
Hey, let's do a recap of where we were, guys, and talk about it. Because in the first round,
Dude, that's the worst.
the first round, we got our, offensive tackle or offensive guard, whichever way you want to look at it, guy who's probably the best pure lineman in the draft from Northwestern, Peter Skoronski. Second round, again, arguably the best center in the draft. Definitely a scheme fit if we stay in that zone blocking scheme, but a big guy, someone who started over 50 games in his career, a sixth-year senior, a little bit older of a prospect at 24, but someone who's plug and play with John Michael Schmitz, the center out of Minnesota. In the third round, we moved to the defensive side of the ball and took 5'11", 205-pound little bowling ball, Jair Brown, athletic as hell, runs 4.4, and can hit like a Mack truck. And in the fourth round, we were just about to take a linebacker. I think it was Servakia Dennis, and then it crapped out. So we're done.
Yeah. So look, all right. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this again, but we're not playing games with this bullshit. We're gonna do lightning. Okay. I'm sorry. Let me tell you what's really going on. Okay. I'll tell you what really happened. As you guys know, my computer's in the shop getting a new battery and everything, and I'm using my wife's computer. And let me just tell you guys how difficult it's been. The whole thing, the editing, everything's crazy. But we lost Dom. Where's Dom? So
I'm
she
here.
has
I'm
a
here.
setting. Where are you still there?
Yes, sir.
We can't see you, buddy. Can't see you. So she has a setting where if you touch the side, it goes back or forward, which I consciously took off my computer because I hated it. And that's what happened. So I got too close and it did the thing. And so anyway.
I think that was just God telling us, don't take a freaking linebacker here. You're wasting the pick.
Yeah, well, look, that's what you get for dressing a linebacker. Now,
That's right.
Kareem, he has an issue. He says, look, you can take in a tackle that can't play tackle. I disagree with that. But
no, and and listen, Kareem, your argument is valid, and there's definitely some teams that are going to have him completely off the tackle board. I think that the guy can play tackle. I think that he's I think he's more than capable. The arm thing is something that's not, that I'm not kind of carrying too much depth and weight with, little short alligator arms. Is it ideal? Does he check every box that your prototypical tackle has? No, but the guy is a technician. The guy's a ball player. He's ridiculously good against the run and the pass, and he's always available. He's a great player.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I know. Again, I disagree. I don't have too much concern about that. And again, look, we're going to dig deeper and deeper into all these guys. So, what I just like you said earlier, what I think today, I completely reserve the right to have the opposite opinion in a month from now. It's funny. People like to bring, hey, man, you said, I'm like, yeah, I know. I disagree. I changed my mind. That's what happens.
Well, Kareem
so here's what we're going to do.
Go ahead.
Now, people are talking about this mock always crowd. I want to make sure that we place fault in the right place. It's me. I did that. Okay, it's not anybody else's fault. It's me. Now, I have excuses. It's the fucking computer and the whole thing and blah 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 blah. But when it boils down, that was my mistake. So PFN, we can have our issues, but they didn't do anything wrong tonight. That was GreenBean. All right, so here we go. I'm going to let this thing run. I'm not going to do any polls. It takes too long. We're just going to get a feel of what they're talking about in the chat, the old school Dom. So here we go. Look at that. Took a cornerback this time.
A bad one, too. And there we go. Skoronski's off the board, so.
See that? So he's not even available for us this time, guys. Now, look, we have 3 trades, Dom. 13, they want us to go to 22. They'll give us a first next year. We lose 2 picks this year. I don't know.
Nah.
Now the Saints want us to go back to 40. They'll give us 71 and a first. We got to throw in 171. It's too much. Too much. You know. I mean, look. Generally speaking, I would do something like this for the first next year, but not this year. I think we gotta make sure that our staff doesn't get fired. You know what I mean? They're gonna save picks for the next organization. Like, no.
Now this one,
is
interesting.
This is interesting.
This one, my friend, I'm going to pull up the value, but I think it's a big win here.
Yeah, this is pretty good. And you can counter it too. So, all right, what do you guys think? You want the Seattle trade? What do you guys think? Yes, no, do me yes or no. Seattle trade?
50 and 140, which is 36. That's 1186. And then that's 20 and 37, which is 850. And 530.
Now,
so that's 13. There's a difference of 200 and change, which is that high to mid round, third round value we would get to drop back from 13 to 20 and gain a second round pick.
Right. So that would give us pick 20, 37, 43, 74. Now, again, I'll throw on something else, but let's take a look at who's there, Dom.
Yeah. So, this is why I hate PFN. The algorithm is just absolutely asinine. The fact that Will Anderson is still on the board, arguably the best player in the draft, period, end of sentence, you know, we'd be doing a disservice if you didn't take him, which is a crazy thought because he's not going to get past, pick 4 at the latest.
Well, you never know. Shit happens, dude. I know I'm with you. Don't get me wrong. But weird shit happens every single year. Every year, guys slide. Let me tell you something. If we made the argument that Justin Fields was going to be there at 16 or whatever the hell it was, nobody would have believed you 2 years ago. Nobody.
Yeah.
He was in the conversation at 2 and 3. Like he was there. So weird shit happens,
Yeah. Well,
now,
listen.
So is he so good that we have to bypass our needs?
The chat, yes, to answer your question, you don't even hesitate if he's on the board at 13, which he's not going to be on the board at 13. However,
but the chat wants to trade.
No, the chat wants the chat saying take Anderson, and I can't knock them for that.
Back it up a little bit. I said, you want to say take the trade? They said, yes, trade for sure. There's Tigo says take Anderson. Yes, thumbs up, sure, no. Yes, do it. Yes. GreenBean and Dom, you should do this mock by yourself. I know. I'm going to take the trade. That's what we're going to do. I see enough people in there.
The argument that Will Anderson's going to be on the board there.
Now I'm going to counter it. I'm going to try to get pick 185. Let's see if they throw that in there. They said no. Okay, watch. I'm going to do a nice counter here. We'll do next year's 6th. Oh, okay. We got one more opportunity. And they're going to take next year's 7th. And that's it. So that's straight up or nothing. So we're going to take it. We're going to
guys, we want to say we understand that if he's on the board, you're taking it, but that's just not realistic. He's not going to be on the board there. So we're playing as if he's not on the board here. Right. The trade is a good deal. It's a valuable deal. You pick up another high second rounder and you give up 171. What's that, a 5th rounder? It's a no-brainer if you ask me.
So, all right. See, San Francisco wants to give us 3 picks, 2 in the 90s next year's first. The Detroit Lions want to throw on 61 for us to move back 7 picks. What do you think? What do you think, guys? Then we can just slam this second round like nobody's business. What do you think, everybody?
I think that there's a high probability that you see Joe Douglas backing up there's more probability of him trading down and accumulating more picks than the opposite, him trading up like he did last year. But for sake of this mock and the time and the fact that we're on our second one already, I'd say stay with what we got and bypass this trade.
So you're saying take it. Okay, no problem.
I'm saying don't take the trade.
I heard you. Take the trade. I got it. All right, so we'll leave it there. All right, so now we're still looking at offensive tackles, right? I mean, Broderick Jones is still there. Let me just take a look here.
I think it's Branch or Broderick Jones at this point. I think it's Branch or Broderick Jones, whichever way you want to go.
So the safety, Branch. Now, do you think Branch is a better safety than Broderick Jones is tackle? And the drop-off. We got to always consider the drop-off, Dom.
I think Branch is a top 15 player in this draft. Broderick Jones is close, but like top to bottom, I think I have Branch rated higher as a prospect. He's special.
All right, we're gonna take Brian Branch, the safety from Alabama. We're shaking it up here tonight in this lightning round, which is already slow as shit. Me and Dom together, man. Oh my God, we can't talk. We can't stop talking. All right, so what is this thing? Okay, there goes Broderick Jones. There he goes. Now we got to look at. Oh, there's John Michael Schmitz. He's gone too.
Wait, didn't we get a second round pick?
Yeah, it's right here, 43.
Oh, we did. Okay.
No, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what.
I thought we got 37.
Let's see. Nope. Let me see. Oh my God, it did it again. This fucking thing. You see that arrow that comes up on the left? You see that? So what did we do? How did we lose picks there? That's weird, right? Let me see what we did here.
You took the wrong trade.
Did I?
You did.
All right. Well, that's stupid.
You took the wrong trade.
That's dumb. All right, so here we are at pick 43. This is a mess, Dom. This is a mess. I'm trying to do it fast.
Let's look at the offensive tackles here.
Yeah.
And I think it's, slam dunk. There's a couple good guys on here. DeJuan Jones, he's a big boy, 6'8", 350 pounds. I think some people are going to be scared at his size because of what we dealt with Makai. But he's hard to get around. He's a right tackle only. Darnell Wright is a left tackle that plays with, like I said, fever and aggression, and very similar to last year, Tyler Smith, the first round tackle from Tulsa, who got drafted by Dallas. Very similar kind of player, kind of style. Can play left tackle, might kick into guard to start, but definitely a left tackle prospect. He's the guy I would take here.
So, all right, which one was that?
Darnell Wright.
Darnell
Tennessee.
Wright.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm happy with the tackle. I do want to see there's some real value here at the interior. As well, I like these guys.
Yeah. Avila, like I said, he's a good player. I think he's going to be more scheme specific to a power style offense. Andrew Voorhees is a phenomenal player, and he's not the 112th ranked prospect in this class. He's probably top 50 or 60.
Yeah. So what do you think about if Bevel comes along? And that's who we're hiring, by the way, everybody. We're hiring Darrell Bevel. That's our next offensive coordinator. It's the smart move. So when they bring him on, how does Steve Avila fit?
I mean, he's a fit. He's a fit. And like I said, I like his versatility. He can play the center. He can fit in, slide in at left or right guard. But realistically, I think our two guards for 2023 are in play with Laken Tomlinson and AVT. And you're not drafting Avila here to be your starting center with the center prospects that are on the board. That's my opinion.
All right. So, all right, well, then we'll take the tackle. Is that what you're saying, or are you saying take Steve Avila?
I'm saying take the tackle.
All right. We'll go ahead and take the tackle. Darnell Wright, we're crushing this draft. We're crushing it. Where this looks like a Mike McCagnon draft. You know what I mean? When he's got Mike Tannenbaum, 3 picks.
Yeah. All
right. So here we go. We got a safety. We got a tackle.
We can look linebacker. We can look interior defensive line. We can still look at the offensive guard if you want to bring another interior or the center.
Yeah. So we got Stromberg still there. Oluwatimi is somebody that I like so far in my
Whippler. The first 3 guys there are all viable guys that can come in and play off the bat. I really feel that.
Let's see what they're talking about here. Where are we? We're at pick 74.
Yeah.
Tight ends and right. So you got, the linebacker. I don't know. Who do you like at linebacker?
Papo's a great player. He's another guy. He's another guy that I think would have been a high, second or third round pick last year. And you can read what he's got there. I mean, he jumps off the board. He's also on the freaks list. Athletic as could be.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got a tackle. We got a safety. If it's me right here, I'm going with the center. That's what I'm doing. And I need a center that can play guard. These centers, like lately, there's been a few centers coming out that can't play guard. I don't believe it. I don't buy it. Now, not every guard can play center, but if you're a center and something happens, and you gotta be able to play guard. That's the way I see it, man.
Yeah.
What is this madness?
Kareem Carson wants us to look at the edge class. So
okay, sure thing, Kareem. Here you go, buddy. Let's see what we got here. Lucas Van Ness.
And again, Van Ness is a first-round talent. The fact that he's still on the board here in round 3, this is a no-brainer for me. You run it up. Very solid and stout against the run, and has a good set. Has a good set of hands, strong hands, good pass rush skills. He's a borderline. He's a late first-round pick, if you ask me.
All right. So what do we want to do? I want to take the center. That's what I want to take. All right, we're going to do a short poll here. There's lots of thoughts. All right, we're going to do a poll. Next pick. All right, center. We got Papao. Give the spelling, man. You know who I'm talking about. Who else did we have here? We had
linebacker.
Papao.
Yeah.
All right, let me see. Who else were we looking at, though?
Lucas
Van Ness. That's who it was.
Yeah.
So we're going to put Lucas Van Ness. I'm saying you run up and you take an edge.
He's a top 30 talent. He's a top 30 talent in this draft. Right. However, from what I'm seeing, I think the chat likes center here.
Yeah, I'm going with Stromberg. That's where
I would go Whippler. I would go Whippler personally, but I'm not going to argue if Stromberg or Oluwatimi are the pick. I just think the best value you get here is Whippler. He's a guy that's going to play 10, 12 years, and you're not even going to think about it. And he's not scheme specific. He can fit any style of offense that you have.
All right. Well, the poll's up there, everybody. Everybody calling me Idzik. I think I'm more tanny. Because the picks are still going to make sense. You know what I mean? All right. I know. Once it falls apart, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. Once it falls, the wheels are off, boys.
Right. The
wheels are off. Now we're just going to go with it and have some fun.
Yeah. Tigo likes Whippler as well. Was James Patterson there? Let me see. No, he's gone. Oh,
he would be a guard.
Hold on.
He would be a guard.
Yeah. No, he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Voorhees
is a great player. But if we're talking centers, I think it's Whippler. If you're talking interior line, you can make an argument for Voorhees as well. And again, I think we got to take the algorithm that PFN throws in there, because Van Ness is not going to be on the board in the third round. That's just crazy talk.
All right. Well, I'm ending the poll. I know everybody yelling and screaming. Center's running away with it. Stromberg it is. I know you say Whippler. We're going to go Stromberg because that's the guy I put in the poll and everybody liked it. Again, it's like one of those things, either one I'd be happy with, quite frankly. Stromberg's a guy that I did some work on, so I know him. All right, Stromberg it is, man. We're crushing it, dude. This is going to be one of our best drafts. All right, we can gain pick 162 for sliding back 10 spots, Dom. You doing it quick?
No.
I would do it, everybody. Okay, so now let's see what we got here at the
Look at the big board here. You got to look at the big board. Let's see what's on the big board.
I want it real quick. All right. Or Sarakia Dennis, we could do that. Okay. So we got a
Blake Freeland. Awesome
right, so
tackle prospect.
you want to grab another tackle?
No. I want to grab Mazi Smith here from Michigan. He's your big old run stuff in defensive tackle, your Nathan Shepard replacement, the guy that you dream for. That's Mazi Smith. He's a big kid. He's got some character issues. I think he got caught toting a gun around the University of Michigan. But we're gonna look past this for this draft. That's the guy, and I don't even hesitate.
All right. Hey, Rusty Spooner, real quick. This is for you, Rusty. You taking Mazi Smith with this pick. Now, guys, we got to get ourselves a defensive tackle at 6'3", 340. I'm calling that. That's my guy. Smith has massive, naturally well-leveraged frame. I like that. So this is for you, Rusty Spooner. If you like Mazi Smith, we're taking Mazi Smith. Come on, Rusty. Where the hell are you?
Who are you talking about? Kareem Carson, who can play edge as well.
I think he's talking about Mazi.
I don't know if you're putting Mazi Smith on the edge.
Hey, Brees Hall's here. What's up, Brees? There you go. All right.
I don't know if Rusty's here.
Defensive line. Nah, you're nuts.
Rusty's saying Voorhees is his favorite guard.
Yeah, I saw that. That. Now you want to. So wait, what did we do there? So we got. We didn't take a guard. We took a center. We can go guard. I don't give a shit. We can do it. Let me see what we got here. Voorhees is gone though now. Voorhees is gone. Sorry. Aluatini's still there, man.
Yeah, and he could, listen, I mean, he could realistically be in this area. So, we might have reached for Stromberg in the third when we didn't need to. And I think it's, like I said, I think, to me, with what we've taken already, you take the defensive tackle because there's a steep drop-off as you get on later in this draft.
Rusty answered the question wrong. I said, do you like Mazi Smith? He said, Morgan is good. What is he saying? Which one's Morgan again? Who the hell's Morgan? You know who he's talking about?
I'm sorry. I was reading the chat. I wasn't reading.
Yeah. Well, Rusty, I gave you the Mazi Smith question, buddy.
Alex Bershera doesn't like Smith. He's not good. I beg to differ. I appreciate your opinion. Alex Bershera doesn't like Mazi Smith as a prospect.
Yeah.
That's okay. Everyone's not going to agree on the same.
Kareem likes him. I wanted to see what Rusty thought. Smith is a big boy. I like him too. And again, I didn't dig. I mean, dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't get this deep into the positions yet.
Yeah.
But the size that I'm looking for, hell yeah. Get my Bob says defensive tackle. That's right. All right, we're going to go with Mazi Smith. Rusty Spooner's taking too long. I'll give you 5 seconds, Rusty. 1,
4, 3, 2, 1.
And all right. And his weapons charge is baloney, Tigo says. All right. Mazi Smith it is. Here we go. We got ourselves a big guy to play next to Quinnen. Look, there they go. There's all the guys. They're all going. Goodbye. Yeah. I'm laggy tonight, man, for sure.
Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, everything's choppy on my end. So, all right, this is our last pick, everybody. You got to make it good. Want a punter? What do you want?
Because GreenBean chose the wrong trade to take, I tell you.
Yeah, that's bullshit. That's not my fault. That's Rusty.
We do got a first rounder next year, and hopefully we can give that back to Baltimore in a trade for Lamar Jackson.
That's right. Well, listen, man. When we win 12 games next year, we're going to be really grateful that we have that extra first bin from me. You're welcome. You're welcome.
So I see Watu K from New York Sports Wicker Media is talking about Tanner McKee. he's an interesting prospect. He's got the size. He's a big guy, and he's got a cannon for an arm. Not the most mobile, but he can still move.
Y2K wants to take a quarterback. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
I don't like that, Y2K. I think we got enough developmental guys right now.
Yeah, he's definitely a developmental guy. You know,
Yeah.
he's got a big arm. He didn't produce all that much in Stanford, but I don't know if that was because of the surrounding cast he had around him. You know, he's also an older prospect, you know, because he took 2 years off to go on his Mormon retreat or mission, I should say.
All right, so what's our final position, everybody? We want to try to grab a linebacker. We got Dorian Williams. He's still there. We were talking about him. Henley's still there.
Yeah.
So we got some guys here. There's value. We haven't looked at cornerback, I think rightfully so. We just got our defensive tackle. We could look at some wide receivers, Jonathan Mingo, Charlie Jones.
Raheem Jarrett is a nice prospect. I think he's very underrated out of Maryland. Yeah, Aeneas Smith is another guy. Aeneas Smith is a type of wide receiver that we don't have on our team. He's a true speedster, go route kind of guy, you know, like that flash in the pan. However, he is coming off of a big injury where he missed most of the season last year.
Yeah. I mean, this would be the part of the draft where you're okay doing that. But the fact that, you know, whoever took these trades, man, they left us with very limited picks. So we got to make sure. So what do you think about the linebackers? So look, we got the linebackers. You know, we got ourselves a tackle. We could look at the guards. Zinter's still there. Center, we got Bula Schmidt. So we could take Zinter at guard if we wanted to make sure we get this offensive line thing right, or we can grab one of these linebackers here, Dorian Williams or Dayan Henley.
I'm curious. Can you just flip to the edge real quick?
Sure.
Dorian Thompson-Robinson. God, Kareem, you're asking for Ajita. Good, great athlete, but man, he has trouble. You know, he has trouble hitting those completion percentage is like gross. So let's look at these edges.
All right, what do you think of these edges?
I mean, Gay's a good prospect. I think he has enough flexibility where he can play outside or inside, both. You know, the rest of them don't really wet my whistle too much.
Okay, so there's a chorus for linebacker. Dorian Williams has some fans in here.
Mm-hmm. He's a good player.
Okay, Jarrett Patterson. I mean, he's gone there, Spooner.
Yeah, he's long gone.
He's gone, buddy.
Yeah. You got a lot of press for a quarterback here, Bean.
I know. I'm seeing it. I think you guys are drunk.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I don't know, man. All right, let's take a look at these quarterbacks and see what they're. You gotta pay respects to the chat. All right.
So I gave you the Tanner McKee breakdown.
Yep.
Clayton Tune, he might be more of a system quarterback. They like to throw the ball in that run and gun style offense over there. Dorian Thompson-Robinson is a phenomenal athlete, but you know, he's going to take a couple years to really learn how to play the position.
Let's take Will Rogers.
Good name.
Mississippi State. They don't even have his height. Oh, that's Peyton Thorne anyway. See, I'm telling you, I'm laggy, man. It's like I click on something and it's like I'm getting misclicks.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's why the trade was wrong. Okay. I think linebacker had it earlier. I don't know what you guys are thinking now. What do you think, Y2K? That's funny. I know we got our quarterback 3, right, Hennessy? That's what I'm thinking. Ryan is the only drunk at 8:30. That's funny. Yeah, 7 levels. What's up, buddy? 7 levels in the house. I think that makes some sense. Let's go with the linebacker. Here we go. Yeah. Come on, this thing. Yeah, I'm really laggy. Okay, Dorian Williams it is. out of Tulane. That's where we got, who do we get from Tulane? Who was that? Pretty recently.
Did we get out of Tulane?
Yeah, we got somebody out of Tulane.
I can't remember a prospect out of Tulane for the life of me. Oh, no, that wasn't Tulane. That was Charlotte. I was thinking about Cam Clark.
Yeah, I wanted to say Nathan Shepard, but he's out of Fort Hays. I forget. All right, so guys, here's our slam dunk draft. After 2 hours and 1 minute of draft madness, we come up with Brian Branch out of Alabama, the safety. We got an offensive tackle to shore that unit up, Darnell Wright out of Tennessee. Then we went with a center. We said, you know what, man, we're not paying anybody. We're going to just bring in some kids, and we're going to stick them right in there. Ricky Stromberg out of Arkansas. Then we got a big 340-pound Mazi Smith to man the position next to Quinnen Williams, who will be re-signed for $23.7 million per year. And then we wrapped it up with linebacker Dorian Williams. And don't forget, got ourselves a free first-round pick for next year. You're welcome. You're welcome, everybody. Okay.
Not how it started, but this is how it finished, guys. And that's
right.
that's what it is. We filled some holes. We definitely filled some holes. I don't know how good some of the value is in some of our picks, but it's Mock Draft Monday #1, version 1.0. Right.
Now let me ask you this. And Watch UK, you want to come on and say hello? Let's say hello to Watch UK. And I'll ask both of you. Hey, there he is. Let me get this off.
Hey, I'm up here.
So real quick, Dom and then Watch UK. Yeah. This draft versus the first draft, where we think we had one or two more picks in that draft. Which one would you prefer?
I'll let Adam start.
Okay. With what I know, I will say this: getting the Baltimore first is pretty intriguing. So you do have to factor that in. Plus, we took 5 picks in this draft, whereas the other one we only took 4. But you could see that we're focusing on the same positions, generally speaking.
Yeah,
I got to tell you, I think I like draft number 2 based off the players. I really the depth of it. I think, you know what, I think I like Brian Branch being in there, and I do like Stromberg quite a bit also. And you sold me pretty good on Mazi Smith.
Yeah.
So, but then you throw in the first round pick on top of that. You got to factor that as part of it. I think this is, helping more positions. I go with draft number 2.
All right. Interesting. Now, real quick, Dom, G named Regan. Or G named Reagan says he'd cry if this was his draft. So that's interesting.
I'll say this: first draft to second draft, I think I like Brian Branch better than the safety we took from Penn State.
Right.
I like Peter Skoronski better than Darnell Wright. I like Schmitz better than Stromberg, but I like Mazi Smith and his positional value better than anyone we would have taken in the 4th round in the first round before, that crapped out. So I'm going to say draft number 1. Very, 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 very close, though, because Brian Branch kind of swings it that way. He's a special player.
All right. I liked the first one. I think I was now again, that wasn't necessarily where I would have gone with some of the picks, but I thought we landed on some players that I find intriguing. So yeah, all right, man. Look, well, we got 2 drafts out of this one. Now, the first one might not have been finished, but we got ourselves 2 drafts. Hey, this was mock number 1, and shit happens, as they say. Don't forget, starting next week, guys, we're going to be bringing in the themes. So maybe we trade for a quarterback. Maybe we trade back. Maybe, some, who knows? We'll have the different options. You guys can vote for it on Twitter and YouTube community. It'll be on the community tab and Twitter, and you guys can go ahead and vote for it. We'll see who wins, which theme wins, and then we'll run with it. and we're going to be doing this all year, man, until the draft, and it's a blast. Don't forget as well, we're going to bring in the PFF simulator at times. We're going to have a good time, man. This is fun, and it's meant to be two things: educational and a good time. Don't get too serious. People tell me, I get emails, Tom, like, that fucking draft was the worst if they did that. I'm like, all right, man. It's like there's nothing. Everybody needs to take it easy, right? We're all friends. Yeah. We're all friends. And it's going to be good. So anyway, I had a good time. I want to thank everybody in the chat. This is really good. I see some C minuses coming in. I saw a few Fs. I didn't see any A's. C plus. There's a B from Nathan. You guys, I think C is where we're settling on a nice fat C. That's what we're looking at here. So real quick, guys, we will have the morning show tomorrow in about what will feel like 10 minutes for me. I'll be back on here with Good Morning Jets. That's every Tuesday through Saturday. And then obviously tomorrow night we have the Talking Jets panel on Jets Talk 24/7. And this with episode 100 of GreenBean's Jets Pod is out now. It was released this morning. Interestingly enough, we don't have a player with the number 100. So I couldn't do a player. It's weird, right? It's weird.
We got a 00 or anything like Jim Otto or something?
What's that?
Did we have a 00 like maybe like Jim Otto was back in the day, I think?
Yeah, I mean, there have been NFL guys. I don't think the Jets ever had one 00 though. I think that would be cool. They should bring it back. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you for getting me to this point. Episode 100. It's the craziest thing. One day I was talking about making a podcast for a while, and I just said I'm sick of myself. I just grabbed the mic and a camera, went outside and filmed it. And here we are. So it's been a blast. I appreciate all the support, guys. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, dude, I am trickling toward this 10,000 goal. It's funny, man. I made it I got like a 1,000 in like 3 weeks. And then for the past 3 weeks, I've gotten, I can't get past 60, 70. It's crazy. Anyway, maybe everybody that gives a shit already subscribed. Maybe that's right. That's all it is. So if you haven't subscribed, look, it helps the channel and it's greatly appreciated. Let's talk about Y2K's got a channel too. New York Sports Waker Media. What do you got coming up? Anything interesting, Y2K?
You know what? Right now, I'm looking a little bit more at baseball and hockey. I'm actually doing a bunch of prospect profiles on New York Mets minor leaguers. I've already recorded 2, and I'm ready to record 2 more. I'm planning on releasing maybe 2 a week. And as the baseball season does approach, I'm going to do some breakdowns of some of the Mets National League rivals, every team in their division, and some of the best teams in the NL. So also the Dodgers, the Padres, the Giants, possibly I think the Cardinals as well. So we're gonna break down the baseball quite a bit as we go forward. But yeah, there'll definitely still be plenty of off-season Jet stuff. And of course, check me out with Jeremy tomorrow night at Jets Chaos, 10 p.m. It always gets a little bit wacky on Wednesdays, and Jeremy and I are actually going to be hanging out right before in March, St. Patrick's Day weekend. When he comes out to North Carolina, we're both going to be hanging out down there. So nice. Maybe we'll do a live show together. You never know.
You should. Awesome. You should totally do that.
You absolutely
we can pull it off.
Maximize the opportunity, man, for sure. Dom C has big news for everybody. Why don't you let everybody know what you stumbled upon this last week?
So I'm pretty excited that I will be attending the Reese's Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama. Going to be there right from the get-go. From the opening, I'll be involved with, get to watch and have credentials to be on the sidelines for all the practices, get an in-depth look at some of these prospects that we're kind of not too sure about. Going to spend the week there. It's going to be super, super excited. I'm really stoked to do it.
What agency are you representing when you go down there?
I am representing some clown. I don't know who. I don't know. I'm there on behalf of GreenBeanJetsfan.com. And we're gonna listen. Be surprised. Don't be surprised if you see some live some live info and live updated news as it happens at the down in Mobile. I might have some pretty good visitors with me, so we'll see what happens.
Right.
Yeah,
well, that's right. One of those visitors, I think you might see a white, fluffy, bearded guy pop in on maybe Wednesday to Sunday, as somebody might be heading down to the Senior Bowl, like you said, to give you guys live, fresh takes on all these young prospects. What a good thing, and I'm proud of you, Dom. I think it's amazing. I can't wait to see what you put together.
Yeah, man, and you can also come see me on Sundays. We do a draft prospect show on NFL Chaos with Jeremy, 9 p.m. Last night we broke down the top 10 tackles in the draft, get a little bit more in depth about these guys, and we're gonna we'll be going through position group by position group this coming Sunday. We're going to talk about the safeties. So if you want to hear more about Jair Brown, Brian Branch, and all those, all those names, if you want to find out a little bit more, come check us out. NFL Chaos with Jeremy, 9 p.m.
There you
Sundays.
go. And the channel is actually Jets Chaos. So
excuse me, I apologize.
Yeah, it's all right.
As opposed to his 49ers chaos.
Yeah,
there's
right.
so much chaos going on in his life. You can't keep track of all of it.
Hawk, real quick to answer your question, right? So episode 99 we had a segment on Mark Gastineau. We have no segment, player profile anyway, on episode 100. And Hawk wants to know, are we starting over with player 1? And he's got it right here. Absolutely. Next week will be the Sauce Gardner episode where we dig into a little bit about Sauce and what he's been doing for us. I mean, granted, he's only been here for a minute, but boy, oh boy, has that been.
He's okay. He's,
it's been a pretty good minute that he's been here. So yeah, man, guys, you're all the best, and I want to thank Dom and Watch UK. That's going to do it for this episode of the Monday Night 10 o'clock mock. Hopefully we shake off all the rust right here in this episode. Hey, man, we ride with it. We have a good time, and I thank you guys for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you. Let me see. Where the hell did it go? Wait.
On the other computer.
Oh, it's so glitchy. All right, we'll do it. There it is. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you next time.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8.
Johnny Lamb Jones.
As a season ticket holder of the Jets, I'm going to fool
Ken O'Brien of California Davis.
Obviously, the Jets know something that, the people up there don't.
Fullback, Roger Vick, Jeff Lageman.
Jets just don't understand the dress all back.
Blair Thomas, running back, Penn State. Johnny Mitchell. The New York Jets select tight end from Penn State, Kyle Brady. Vernon Golson.
Cleveland traded the 5th pick to the New York Jets. And with the 5th pick in the 2009 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Mark Sanchez.
D. Milner. Smith. Jets select quarterback Christian Hackenberg.
Sam Darnell.